welcome. I'm Karina. I work at Michael's in the marketing department, and I'll be teaching today's class. And today we're going to be using our pumpkin decor kit that's under the kids department. And it's a really simple, easy to use kit because it has everything that you need except the pumpkin to decorate the pumpkin. And it includes the paint, it includes the brush, the sponge brush, which is awesome. I didn't even realize that. And I ended up buying some extra supplies, but just wanted to let you know that that's what we'll be crafting today. I'm really excited for you guys to start crafting for Halloween. I'm super excited. I've already started decorating. Just wanted to just add some more pumpkins to my collection. So I had a question earlier from someone who was asking if an orange pumpkin was better than a cream pumpkin to paint. And I told her that this completed project here, I used an orange pumpkin. So I think we'll be doing a live demonstration or a live test here to see if, you know, which one's better. But honestly, I think either one will work. The key issue for today might be the paint, because we won't be able to go add any embellishments to the pumpkin until it's dry. So I want to go ahead and get started on painting, because that will be the most crucial and most time-consuming part, the drying of the paint. And I used 2 coats here. So let's go to the top down so I can show you the supplies, and I'll show you kind of some alternates that say if you don't have any, and feel free to ask questions in the Q&A if you have questions on alternatives. If you don't have all the materials today, that's fine. We'll have the recorded session up on the site within 24 hours. So here's a close-up of the kit. And I'll show you kind of everything that's in there. So here's the little paint with a sponge. So that makes it really perfect. We have the little caterpillar orange eyebrows, the cutouts for the feet, and these are on adhesive foam, so that makes it really easy to stick on. The tail, the horns, and the face cutouts. So I'll put those there so you can see those. So if you don't have the kit and you still want to craft along today, I would go ahead and say you still need your pumpkin, because that's what we're doing, is decorating the pumpkin, and go ahead and start painting that. What you could use as an alternative to the kit would be to either use construction paper to embellish the pumpkin, or use a paint pen to draw directly on the pumpkin after it's dry. But I also purchased some extra paint from the store because I wasn't sure at the time that the paint was in the kit. So that's an alternative there. And then some glue. So the glue is to try to get the horns on your pumpkin here, but actually I have a little hack for it and it seems to be working. So I'll share it with you once we get to that stage. But the first step will be to clear out your space here, make some space, and put down some paper or something so that you protect your surface area.
We did have a few questions, Karina. Could real pumpkins and plastic pumpkins be used? Does it matter what kind of pumpkin?
No, it shouldn't matter what kind of pumpkins. I think the main thing with real pumpkins will be, I think you have to wash them first, just to make sure they don't have any like wax or something on them to might make them like hard for the paint to stick on. That's the only thing I can think of. But that's a good question. I might try it tonight on a real pumpkin. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my paint. And this was the perfect amount of paint. And when I did this, I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't sure if it would cover it. And this was 2 coats that I put on here. So I would just go ahead and have at it. I love this sponge brush. It is actually really great for coverage. The brushes, like the bristle brushes, don't always cover as well for me. Maybe I'm not doing it right, but that's what I found. And don't worry if it, you know, it looks like this. Even on the orange one, it looked like this, like it wasn't covering, but it really does if you just don't be shy with a paint.
Is this acrylic paint?
Yes, this is acrylic paint. Let's see, let's make sure. This is, it just says 1 paint tube, but I'm almost positive it's acrylic paint, because washable paint sometimes it goes on a lot different, and this seems to go on a lot easier than washable paint. And the instructions on the kit say that it will take about 90 minutes to finish the craft. So we'll see how far we can get in today's class. And I think the primary reason is the drying time for the paint. So as you can see, it's kind of already covering pretty well. There are some streaks of white that are peeking through, but you know, this is just the first layer, so it's pretty good. But because it is acrylic paint, I think it's extra important to make sure you protect your surface. I think I already got it. I got it on my jeans because I made this craft this morning. I need to make myself a Michael's apron for all my crafting. So is everybody busy painting? What are they planning to? Obviously you can decorate any kind of pumpkin you'd like. I think I saw someone that was painting a rainbow pumpkin. And always, I love adding different colors to pumpkins. And then let's say you don't want to follow along with this, you could always paint a pumpkin or embellish it with whatever you have on hand. I think colorful pom-poms would be cute. It'd be great to add just a bunch of eyeballs to it if you have wiggly eyes. Can add some rhinestones with some glue.
You have a question, Karina. Are you going to paint the bottom or should they not paint the bottom?
So I actually did 1 coat on the bottom of this one. It's just a very thin coat, but I did not finish it. So I think I'd rather not, because the reason I didn't add another layer is that it was getting stuck to the paper that I was using. I think I could probably try to do it, but because you can't see it, I'm not going to go ahead and do it, just to make sure I have enough paint to cover, to do a second coat. That's a good question, though. I guess if it depends on what you're going to be, what kind of activities you're going to do with your pumpkin. If you plan to just place it as decor somewhere on your front porch, I probably wouldn't. But let's say you're gonna paint the pumpkin to do to do pumpkin bowling or something, use it to play a game, then maybe I would paint the bottom just so that it's nice and even.
We have someone who's going to make a unicorn pumpkin.
Oh, I love that. That would be so cute.
And someone who is using pom-poms for the hair.
Oh, I would love to see that. So creative. I think we have actually a unicorn project on our website. That would be really fun. My niece loves unicorns, so I'm sure I can make one with her. So my son loves monsters. He loves the movie Monsters, Inc. So I think he's gonna love this once he sees it. We might need to make a green one. And then I'll be teaching the class on Thursday where we'll be making a lion. So that'll be fun. Okay. So I think I got my first.
Pumpkin are you using? Is it a plastic pumpkin?
Yes, it's a plastic craft pumpkin. It's a 9-inch craft pumpkin. So I've got my first layer on. It's looking very similar to how it covered the orange one. So I would recommend just painting that second layer once this first layer dries. And then it should cover completely. You might see a little bit of orange peeking through or white peeking through, but it's not going to be very noticeable. So I'll show you a little bit about the next steps as we get through here, as we wait for the paint to dry. So I added on these, the feet, they're adhesive foam. So you obviously just peel off the back. Then you add your mouth and your eyes and your cute little caterpillar orange eyebrows. And the hardest part for me was to figure out how to attach the tail and the horns up here. And what I ended up using was, you can use glue, but what I ended up using, so you can see up here, I just used some scrap of the adhesive foam to attach the foam to the pumpkin. So I can show you that in a second. You know what I could do? I could, I think it's already dry. It's starting to dry because it got stuck to my cardboard. I'll show you kind of up close. This is on adhesive foam. So if I punch this out, the eyes out and the mouth, this is all extra that I can use. And this is what I used. I just used some scissors to just use the scraps to attach my horn. So this is sticky and this will stick to the horn, and then the other piece of this can stick to your pumpkin. So that way it's a little less messy. You don't have to use glue, but the glue will be another option for you if you don't want to use the adhesive foam. But I found that really, really resourceful. Okay, I'm gonna try to add my second layer.
How long do you think people should wait between their paint coats?
I would say at least 30 minutes if you could. but I don't know if we want to just wait 30 minutes here. So I'm going to attempt to do it after the 5 minutes that we were. And it already seemed to be sticking to my cardboard. So I think that might be, I would say 15 minutes at least to be on the safe side. But it looks like it's already covering. You know what, we also have some, I think we have some glow in the dark paint. So I would want to do like a glow in the dark pumpkin. Maybe do little mini pumpkins. Ooh, a dinosaur pumpkin. My son would love a dinosaur pumpkin. He loves dinosaurs. So you see down here, it's kind of, the paint hasn't completely dried, and that's why it is coming off when I set it down on the cardboard. Okay. Let me see if I can make a little fan. It should dry faster. And then Thursday's pumpkin, we're going to be making a lion, and I'll show you that that one here. So what I decided to do is buy a cream pumpkin for that one, because I felt like the orange would come through easier on the white rather than, or the yellow would come through easier on the white pumpkin instead of using an orange pumpkin.
We have a few more questions, Karina.
Okay.
Did your pumpkins use up all of the paint that came in the kit?
Yeah, my finished pumpkin did use it all because I ended up, after I let this dry for, I think it was at least 30 minutes to an hour, I went in again and used the remainder of my paint. And this is about how much I have left after my first coat. And I just finished it. I used every last bit of it to cover it. And this is a 9-inch pumpkin. So again, if you could use a smaller pumpkin. If you wanted to use a bigger pumpkin, you could. You just might need more paint to make sure to cover it.
And for people who don't have the kit that might be using different paint, do you have a recommendation of what kind of paints to use?
Who don't have the kit? Yeah, I have. So I believe that this is a Creatology kit. So I think this is the same as this Creatology acrylic paint. And it was actually on that Halloween little drive aisle in the store, so it was easy to find for me. But it, I think it's very close to the same paint because it's a slightly lighter color, but it is acrylic paint, and the acrylic will stick easier. I also have this Craftsmart paint, but again, and it's acrylic paint, pretty affordable as well. It's just in a smaller bottle, so. This one is is double the size of this one. So I guess if you're gonna, it depends how big your pumpkin is. I guess if you have a big pumpkin, it might be better to get the bigger one. What else?
We had a question if watercolor paint would work.
No, I don't think it would. Just because the watercolor usually works best on paper, pretty thick paper. And I don't think the pumpkin itself doesn't really have anything to absorb that, that paint, the water for the paint. Okay. It's feeling a little more tacky, so I feel like it's already drying. So I'm gonna hit it with a few more strokes of whatever's left of my paint and try to finalize the drying process here. And Kathleen, it looks like it's covering pretty well here. It's almost just as equally as good to use a cream pumpkin as it is to use an orange pumpkin.
Pumpkin looks like it kind of has like a bit of a glow underneath it, almost as if it glows in the dark or something.
Oh yeah, maybe. I think that would be really cool. We have some really interesting craft paint glazes in the fine art aisle, and so I think that would be really cool to use like a base color like green, and maybe use like a dragonfly glaze paint to go over it, because then you'd have like a green shimmer to it, or purple shimmer to it. There's different ones. I used that glaze last year, that's why it comes to mind. Okay. And now I'm gonna just leave it alone and let it dry as much as I can.
Do you think that 3-year-olds can do this type of craft?
3?
Yes.
Is that the age? Oh, I think I think they can. I think my son, I would have him painting with me. I think they can paint with supervision. And then the easy part of this kit is that we have the adhesive foam, so that's easy as well. I think the hardest part would be the painting, just supervising them while they're painting, and the sponge brush here that comes with the kit makes it really easy. So that makes it really simple to cover the pumpkin. But of course, I think 3 with assistance. So what other pumpkins are you guys decorating for Halloween? So we're making monsters, we're making rainbows, we're making unicorns. Oops.
Well, some people are wondering if they can paint the stem of the pumpkin as well.
Oh, they're painting the stem too?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't paint the stem this time, but you could paint it a different color that would contrast to it. That would be really fun. But I'm just gonna keep. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start sticking on the bottom, but you guys may wanna wait. I'll just show you a demonstration so that I can just, let's see, which part is the most dry for me? And I wonder if it'll stick. So this will be a nice test for you guys. So don't do what I do. Let's just see if it works. So let's look at our pumpkin. We want the feet to be, yep. And this is why you don't do what I do, because you have to wait for the paint to dry, because otherwise, if it's wet, the adhesive foam will just slide. So that's not gonna work. I wanted to skip a step, but nope, it's not possible here.
Some people made a dinosaur, a ladybug. Some are making a cat on a black pumpkin.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love that.
A zombie pumpkin.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I have, so here, once your pumpkin is dry, it's really simple. The adhesive foam sticks perfectly when it's dry. Then you can find the center of your pumpkin and put your mouth, the eyes, and then the fuzzy eyebrows. And then I'll show you my little hack here for the tail. You see the back here? I just used a scrap of my adhesive foam from the other cutouts to help me stick the tail to the pumpkin. And it worked perfectly. And I did that again with horns right there. I just used a little tab, cut it out with the scissors and just used it as a little sticker tool. And then if you don't want to try that, you can always use Elmer's glue. But
We have another question about if markers could be used to color the pumpkin.
I think they can if they're paint markers. I don't think that it will work with just regular Crayola or washable markers. Maybe I can try it out on the bottom of this one. I'll take off sticker and then well, that's not going to work because I have an orange marker. So let's try a black marker. Okay. So here's the bottom of my pumpkin. Well, it doesn't look like it's sticking. Looks like it's sticking to my finger more. So probably not the best idea right there. I know you could use, if you don't have the adhesive, this kit, or if you don't have the adhesive foam, I think construction paper would work really great here just because it's a lighter paper, but it's thicker than normal paper. So it would stick up like, see here, it's already sticking to the paint. So let's say I wanted to make a horn here. It's just a little piece of construction paper and it would stick. So I honestly, I don't think that we're going to be able to see this second pumpkin finished. I highly doubt that it will dry within the next 15 minutes. I think the second coat really needs a little more time because we didn't give the first coat enough time to sit. So I'll walk you through the next steps again, and then I'll just close out the class. But just know that you're probably going to need at least 30 to 45 minutes to let the paint completely dry. And then the next piece, and this is how I did it. You can start with the horns if you'd like, but I found it easy to start from the bottom, putting on the feet first at the bottom, then putting on the mouth, the smile, and then adding the eyes, and then the eyebrows, and then the horns and the tail. And I used the scraps of my adhesive foam to stick the horns on. And actually the instructions for this craft say to use glue, but I felt like glue would take too long to stick or to dry. So I decided to craft a new option. So there we go. And you can always use a hot glue if you have a parent to help you as well. But those were the trickiest pieces for me to get on. But everything else is pretty straightforward. So any other questions before I say goodbye?
I think that we are pretty much done with questions. Did you have, one more question just came in.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there a specific order that you think is best to put the embellishments on the pumpkin as far as maybe measuring and everything like that? Yeah,
so I felt like starting with the feet was the easiest for me. I just found the side of the pumpkin that I liked the best. And usually it was the side for me that I felt the paint covered the most, or looked the most solid to me. And so I started there, and then I just started with the feet, then the mouth. I tried to center the mouth. Obviously you can be more precise if you want to use a ruler to help you center things. And then I used the mouth to guide me to put on the eyes, and then the eyebrows were easy because you go directly above the eyes, and then the horns just on each side, and then the tail was last. So there he is.
Looks great.
Thanks. Well, all right. I hope you guys can share your pumpkins once they're finished. I'd love to see them. If you use the hashtag #MakeItWithMichaels, I'll take a look tonight and take a look to see what you guys created. Obviously, you don't have to create this monster, but I really liked your ideas, the unicorn, the dinosaurs. So please share. I also will try a real pumpkin and see how that goes for us. I feel like if you use acrylic paint, the acrylic paint will cover, but I will check it out and we'll see if it works just as well. Well, thank you so much for crafting with me. I'll see you guys on Thursday if you want to come make the lion pumpkin with me, okay? And again, if you are going to make the lion pumpkin with me, we'll have the same issue where we'll need to let the paint dry. So I think next time I'll probably have the first coat already done. And if you want to make sure you have a finished project by the end of the class, then I'd probably advise you do that as well. All right. Well, thank you. Bye.